Are you using mockups in a professional way, or are you making amateur mistakes? So in today's video, learn all about mockups from an amateur versus pro standpoint, and where I show you the top tips for using mockups as a graphic designer. With the way the design industry is going, learning how to prototype is a no-brainer. Instead of putting flat files in front of your team, manager or client, imagine being able to hand them a prototype that's so good it feels like a real app or a website. Now learn more about Framer later in today's video, so when you're working on a project for a client or whoever, when it comes to needing a mockup, what do you do exactly? Maybe you perform a quick Google search, or maybe you know of a website that has some pretty cool downloads in terms of mockups. This, quite frankly, is the more amateur approach. The professional way to go about this is to have a multitude of mockups already downloaded and into relevant folders saved on your computer. This not only is being organized, which is going to save you some time, but also it means that you're sure to find the right mockup for your client on any given project. So for example, you might have one single folder for your mockups, and then inside that folder you'll have separate subfolders. So things like business card mockups, book cover mockups, box mockups, and so on. If you just invest a couple of hours, one time only, looking through websites and downloading a ream of good mockups, you're not going to need to endlessly search midway through a project ever again. But what mockups should you be using and why? The amateur graphic designer doesn't think much about the message or the context of a design project. They might use a mockup that looks cool to them, or they might even just use the first mockup they find. So I'm going to say this to you, try and use mockups that relate back to the client and also the message of the brief. For example, if you're designing something for an organic kind of brand, it would be a great idea to use mockups that appeal to that message. And that message is being organic. Now you might be asking, how do you do that? Well, it's pretty easy. For an organic brand, it would be a great idea to include rustic or natural objects because they're going to appeal to the client and the position that design scenario will relate in. Organic brands like to send a message of being natural and healthy living, etc., etc. So it's all about selling your idea to a client via a mock-up and a presentation. And so making sure your design is mocked up in a relevant situation is going to help you achieve just that. Don't just simply use a mock-up in your presentation and that's that. You know, the kind of case closed mentality. That is amateurish. A professional designer knows that mockups are one part of the presentation. They need to be used in conjunction with other elements such as textual content, showing fonts and color palettes, explaining your reasoning for making certain choices, and just telling a story in a straightforward way. Allow your mockups to flow seamlessly through your presentation and blend them into an overall delivery. Just don't make them the be-all and end-all because that shouldn't be the case. Here's something I've been guilty of, and I bet you have too at some point. It can actually totally ruin your presentation, and it's a simple amateurish mistake. The mockups you use need to be high resolution, really high quality resolution. Using even slightly blurry mockups is a huge no-no. You, as a graphic designer, your job is to produce graphics. And that is the tool that we use to deliver our message. If you use a blurry or low resolution imagery, it just shows how you're not even competent enough to get that right, and it comes across as super amateurish. It really is a quick way to lose your client, or at least to drop down a couple of points in their minds. Going back to the process of downloading hundreds of mockups to save on your computer, here is a golden bit of advice for you. Try looking for multi-view mockups. Now what is a multi-view mockup, you might be asking? Well, these are mockups that offer you several different ways to display your work on one single download. These are so powerful because you can keep the style of the mockup the same, and you can present the work to your client in different viewpoints or scenarios, all from one download. Now I'm going to leave some of my links down below for my favorite mockup sites, so you can start downloading free mockups, saving them onto your computer right now. The sponsor of today's video, Framer, is a no-code, free-to-use tool making it easy for anyone to become a prototyper. Now, their mission is to help you get closer for real. Create your own smart components complete with multiple states without any code, as well as drop in pre-built components with the insert menu and make your own delightful custom animations 100% visually. So in just a couple of hours, you could have a new skill that helps you stand out from the crowd. Sign up to Framer for free at framer.com/Satori Graphics. And that link is down in the description box below. If you want to keep excelling in your career and learning more useful or valuable things in this industry, subscribe to my channel for weekly graphic design content. And until next time guys, design your future today. Peace.